Sir, what is poppin', Rain Gang family? We are here to talk Baltimore Ravens today. A lot of new updates. Lamar Jackson at the second day of week 2 of OTAs. And he had some interesting things to say at his post practice presser, which we're going to get into on this episode. And Jesse Minter had a lot of things to say as well. And we're going to break all of that down here on this episode of Quiet Storm Sports on the Purple Rain Podcast YouTube channel. My name is Sutton Def, and welcome in. Welcome one and welcome all, whether you're watching live right now or if you're part of the replay gang. Either way, leave a like on this video before we dive into anything. And also, if you are new here, this is a channel where we cover all things Baltimore Ravens, also NFL, and then MMA, NBA. We're doing it all here. We're doing it all here at PRP. Make sure you subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. And oh yeah, by the way, we do have a giveaway coming up tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be Thursday, May the 28th. I'm releasing this video. I'm live right now on Wednesday, May the 27th. But tomorrow, May the 28th, we will be giving away some Ravens gear. We're giving away some Ravens gear for our channel members and channel members only. So if you are a channel member already of this channel, you automatically qualify for a chance to win this Ravens t-shirt. It's going to be really, listen, man, I love this one. It's in celebration of our episode 410 of PRP. If you don't know, 410 is the area code for Baltimore. This is the Baltimore Ravens channel. We're celebrating our 410th episode by giving away this Charm City shirt. So that's for all of our members. Make sure you join our membership for a chance to win. And again, welcome into everybody watching live and also the replay gang as well. Lots to get into, like I led the show with, lots to get into. I see you guys in the live chat going off, going crazy. What's going on, Coach? My guy, he was just live. Coach was just live. Did a great job breaking down today's OTAs. And, you know, I had a lot of Coach, we got to talk soon. We got to get on the stream soon, man. That's all I'll say. Coach does a great job. Make sure you go subscribe to Sip2 Tally Films like you see right down there. I see Keto is in the chat. What's going on, Keto? We got Stretch 52 in here. Says, let's go. Let's get it, man. Let's get it. RJ is in the chat. That's my guy right there. My guy, RJ. 86 Ghost says, just getting off work. Time to flex my new mod status. That's right. We got a couple new mods in the house. I modded a couple of y'all earlier today. I did. 86 Ghost is a new moderator here in the chat. There are 2 other new moderators as well. I'm sure they will introduce themselves eventually. But yes. Let me see. Tila, longtime moderator in the chat, says, hey, everyone. What's going on, Tila? Thank you for coming through. K-Lod is in the chat as well. All right. So here we go. It's time to dive into this Ravens news, right? Lots to get into today. Week 2, day 5 of OTAs wrapped up. A lot of things happened. The media was actually there, so they got to give us a lot more, insight and context to what was going on. Because honestly, I mean, listen, I can speak for all the Ravens content creators out there. I think when I say that, these OTA days where they have, the non-media ones, right? You're like where they don't allow the media in there. It's rough. And shout out to Ryan Mink. Look, shout out to Ryan Mink, but like, I be needing my Cordell Woodlands updates, right? I be needing my Jonas Schaefer's, and I need my Karita Parks. I need all that. Ryan Mink, respectfully, is just not enough, right? It's not enough. So shout out to the media being there today, giving us plenty to break down here. Let's go ahead and start off with this, right? I want to talk about who wasn't there. Okay, who was not in attendance today? Let's start off with that. Again, before we dive into it, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel as well. We'd appreciate that. Let me see. So this was coming from Jeff Zarebek. Ravens, he doesn't see on the field for OTAs today. Rashad Bateman, first on the list. Let's address it. As you all know, I have been a faithful Rashad Bateman supporter over the past couple of seasons, and most particularly this offseason, because a lot of you guys have written him off. And those of you guys who have written him off, I've actually written your names down in a book for when Rashad Bateman starts to go off this season, I'm going to list off names who I need an apology from. But that's neither here nor there. Right now, I'm here to talk about this. Rashad Bateman misses yet another OTA, organized team activity. And this concerns me. This concerns me genuinely for his future with the Ravens. I believe that if he plays and he starts the season, he's going to be really good. He's going to be damn good. Him and Declan Doyle, they're going to find ways to get Rashad Bateman the ball. But my fear is that his buy-in level right now may not be the highest. And that could be for very good reason, which I'll get into in a second here. But I feel like his buy-in level may not be the highest right now. And for that reason, I do think that it's on the table for Eric DeCosta to possibly deal Rashad Bateman. They could trade him. It's on the table. I think that with him not being at OTAs, that visual or lack thereof is enough for Eric DeCosta to at least take phone calls about Rashad Bateman. As much as it pains me to say, as a Bateman truther here on this podcast, me and Alex, that is a very plausible reality. Unfortunately. It's all good, though. It's all good, though. I see a couple of you guys want to go on the list. All good. I'm writing down names. Don't worry about it. I'm writing down names because when he does start this season, right, and all of this comes to pass, I'm going to need some apologies, especially once he starts scoring touchdowns. So, Void, I see you in there. Let me write your name down really quick. Again, replay gang, if you're listening to this and you want to go on the list, make sure you put it in the comments and you will be on the list. So Void is going on the list. It's a shame a member has to go on the list, but hey, it is what it is. Void is on the list. Unfortunate, but it is what it is. All right, let's keep going through this list here of who was not at OTAs today now that my Bateman spiel of the day is over. So Ronnie Stanley also wasn't there. I'm not mad at that. Seasoned veteran, right? Like, you know, he's a left tackle. He's going to be doing the same sort of stuff that he's been doing since he's been in Baltimore, since he's been in the league. Don't necessarily need him to be there all the time in voluntary OTAs. Teddy Buchanan, of course, still nursing that knee. No problem there. Nnamdi Madubuike, of course, with his neck. We'll actually get into Madubuike a little bit more later in the show. There was a little bit of an update provided on Madubuike by Jesse Minter. We're going to touch on that later. But not mad at him, of course, not being there. Calais Campbell, not mad at him. I mean, he is literally, again, like I'll keep saying it, he's the oak tree, right? He doesn't need to be at every day in practice. Hell, he's not going to be practicing every day during the season either, right? He's going to get multiple vet rest days and things like that. So not mad at that. John Jenkins, same thing. Same thing for John Jenkins. And then you also have Travis Jones. Travis Jones not being there. Not necessarily sure why there. I would love to see him there. But, I mean, at this stage in the game, I'm not necessarily mad at, you know, certain guys from the trenches. And Travis Jones is technically a vet now, too. I'm not mad at them not being there because they can't really do much yet. There's no pads. Right? So I don't need them to be there. Marlon Humphrey not being there. Listen, buddy. Marlo. It might be up for you. It might be up for him too. I don't know. We'll see. But he's going to be on a very short leash this year with fans. I know that for sure. Cheeto Awuzie not being there, you know, longtime vet. Not mad at that either. I'm just saying, I'm just calling out Marlo here because it's just like in lieu of like all of the crap that he's put on social media and, you know, the antics and things like that. You would think he would at least show up and be there for, you know, some of these younger guys, you know, Chandler Rivers and things like that, like ushering these new guys into the league as he kind of ushers himself out, especially somebody who's a longtime member of this team. And then the longest tenured member of this team, as a matter of fact. And then you got Malachi Starks, who missed it as well. Not really sure what's going on there. Would have loved to see him there. That's for sure. Mr. Malachi, where you at? But you never know what's going on with guys at this time in the year. And then Adisa Isaac, who I've been seeing a lot of you guys say this. Does he even exist? Is he even real? That's a very real question. It's a valid question because, I mean, I'll put it like this. As somebody who's a diehard Ravens fan who covers this team literally all year round, I know the faces to pretty much every name on this roster. I couldn't recognize Adisa Isaac from a can of paint, to be honest with you. I just couldn't. I'm sorry. And he's been here for a while now, and it's just crazy. But you know, who knows if he'll make the team? We'll see. We'll have to see. We do have a super chat donation. Appreciate the super chat donation. We're going to display that live on the show as we do all of them. Void, appreciate you making it rain here. Says more kids than 1,000-yard seasons, and he was a round one pick. You're talking about Rashad Bateman here, and yes, that was the other thing I wanted to get to. So thank you for reminding me of that. I know he had just had another baby, so I think that he probably was like, okay, I'm going to take a little bit extra time off to be with his kid. Which, look, totally understand that. Totally understand that. But it's not about whether or not Sutton Def understands it. It's more so about, does Eric DaCosta, right, as the one who's running the operation that you work for, is he looking at that the same way? I don't know, because I don't know EDC. But I still think at the very least, like, regardless of the reason why he's not at OTAs right now, and pretty much everybody else is, I think EDC would be willing to take calls. I think he'd be willing to take calls at the very least. Again, that's what I think. Thank you so much, Void, for your super chat donation. Dropping the 2-piece in the chat, making it rain here on this episode of Quiet Storm Sports. Again, Void, a member here on the channel, so he's going to have a chance to win some Ravens gear tomorrow when we do that giveaway. Again, don't forget to join the Rain Gang, guys. Like the video and subscribe. Every new sub equals a live emote on stream. We'd appreciate you guys for doing that for us here as we quickly approach 7,000 subscribers, which is crazy. We appreciate all of the growth here we've had on the channel over the years, and we appreciate everybody for all of their support. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and dive into some more from today's OTA. So obviously, Lamar Jackson was there. Let me go ahead and refresh my page here before we get into anything else. A couple of practice standouts, and this one's coming from Ryan Mink. Again, shout out to him. Number one, you had Nate Wiggins getting an interception off of Lamar Jackson today. And we'll get into the interviews later for Lamar and Jesse Minter, guys. So don't worry, stay tuned for that and make sure you stay locked in because that's going to be a good one. But Nate Wiggins got a pick on Lamar Jackson today. Apparently, that was on a deep crossing route to Zay Flowers. It was intended for Zay Flowers, and Nate Wiggins got in front of it and picked off Lamar. And it was raining outside. Another thing, another thing to note from today's practice, it was raining. So that is something to think about as well. But Nate Wiggins got there and he got the pick. I mean, you love to hear that. I mean, one thing that you've always wanted, me personally, right, from Nate Wiggins, I need him to be more of a playmaker, right? Consistency is one thing, but like, I need more playmaking ability. I need you to be literally shadowing these wide receivers on some of the routes with your speed, right? And I need some more picks. I need more picks. And the fact that we're getting that in OTAs is a promising sign. That's all I can really say about that. It's a very promising sign. But Ryan Mink goes on to say otherwise, Lamar Jackson had a very strong day, had a couple good throws to Devontae Walker during 11s. Now, here's the thing about this. So I actually love the fact, and maybe I'm just speaking for myself here. Let me know if you guys agree. But I love the fact that Tez Walker, who is kind of like the odd man out. We talk about Rashad Bateman a lot, but Tez Walker is really a guy who, okay, where is he going to get targets, especially with, Lane and Surratt being here now. I love the fact that he's somebody who's stepping up early in OTAs, and we'll see how that goes in the training camp and preseason and all that good stuff. But I love the fact that he's stepping up. I love the fact that they're not talking about Jacoby Lane or Elijah Surratt consistently. Right? They're saying, oh, no, Tez Walker, him and Tez Walker had a good connection. Couple good throws to Tez Walker during 11s. That's promising because it goes to show, like, yeah, yes, the young guys are here, Lane and Surratt again, but Tez Walker still has something to prove, right? Like, he's not just going to roll over and play dead for Lane and Surratt to step up. At the end of the day, they're all competing. So I think that, Tez Walker stepping up is good for Tez, but it's also a wake up call to those younger guys. It's also a wake up call to the younger guys. So again, I love that coming from Tez Walker. And then lastly here, Ryan Mink says Trey Hendrickson had multiple sacks, including one in a 3rd and 10 situation, and batted down a screen. So this is something that, this is what you really want. And Jesse Minter actually alluded to this in his interview. Closing ability, right? Closing a game when you are up a couple possessions, let's say 10 or more points, right? Going into like a fourth quarter. I presume the Ravens will have this scenario happen for them pretty often this season, especially considering the Ravens' strength of schedule. They're probably going to go into a lot of fourth quarters with leads, and you're going to have teams trying to throw the ball to basically throw themselves back into the game, right? And when you have a Trey Hendrickson who, like it mentions here, on 3rd down situations, who's going to be racking up multiple sacks and being like a menace in the backfield. Like, and Jesse Minter speaks on Trey Hendrickson more in his interview later. We'll get into that, but that is going to bode very, very well for not only this defense, but the team overall. Because one of the biggest, I'd say, obstacles that the Ravens have faced in the past couple of years is getting leads, on the back of Lamar Jackson, just being Lamar Jackson, and then not being able to hold those leads, especially against higher caliber teams. Not being able to hold those leads because late in games, you don't have a pass rush. You don't have much of a pass rush. If it's not coming from the interior with Nnamdi Madubuike, which is, guys on the interior, them getting pressure on the quarterback, that happens few and far between, as opposed to how often it happens with edge rushers, right? So again, with that being said, you got to have guys off that edge who can close your games. And that's what Trey Hendrickson is looking like he's going to be. That excites me. That excites me. I love that. Shout out to God's favorite in the chat. What up? Appreciate you for coming through. The Nigerian Nightmare, I see you in the chat. What up? What up? What up? What up? 70 people watching live, y'all. Please be sure to like the video, subscribe as well. Let's get into some of these videos here. Let's get into some of these drills. Okay. So here you have Lamar Jackson leading the quarterback drills with Declan Doyle and the new quarterbacks coach, Israel Wolfwork, looking on close by. Love the fact that so far we've been seeing a lot of Declan Doyle being close, basically attached at the hip to Lamar Jackson, right? That's going to be so important. So important, again, like I said yesterday, that these guys are on the same page. And again, stay tuned for the interview portion of this because Lamar Jackson said some interesting things about Declan Doyle. But I love the fact that they're working together, they're collaborating, they're communicating consistently. You can just tell that, like, in the meeting rooms, that have just the coaches, like the coaches only meeting rooms, they are hammering the point home. Hey, listen, constantly be in communication with your players. Constantly keep that line of communication open, right? I think on a psychological level, when players know that it's literally an open flow of communication and collaboration between them and the ones that are coaching them and governing their play, that makes for a great relationship between coach and player. That's what I believe. Okay. That's what I believe. So I love to see that so far. Here you see Lamar Jackson and Jesse Minter. They're sharing a laugh at practice. Love to see those two guys as well. I mean, of course, head coach and QB1 here kind of, again, I know I've been on my psychological, my psychology kick recently, guys. You guys been teasing me about it. It's okay. But these things are important in May. Okay. You got to read between the lines with a lot of this media you get here. And that's what we're doing here. Jesse Minter and Lamar Jackson literally just laughing it up with each other, kikiing, joking. That means that they're on good terms. I mean, they're building a relationship. They're building trust, right? You're building trust. You don't laugh with somebody you don't trust. And that's a fact. So I love that. Again, coming from him. Shout out to Cordell Woodland for getting that video for us. Cordell should be back on the show here soon too. I loved this. So this was probably one of my favorite videos here. So you had Coach Eddie Faulkner, the new running backs coach, freshly coming from the Steelers, by the way, doing this running backs drill here. And I loved this. You had all the running backs, Rasheen Ali, you had Justice Hill and Derrick Henry doing this drill where basically they're showing different gaps at the last second as the running back approaches the offensive line, and it forces you to change direction, right? To assess and instinctively change direction to get to the open hole, right? Because it's not always going to be the same. And, depending on the scheme of the run, like if it's, whether it's an outside zone run or maybe it's a power run or counter where you're not necessarily going the right way on your first step, I think doing a drill like this really gets the guys used to, again, just sharpening their instincts. And I never actually seen the Ravens do something like this before until now, but this seems like one of those innovative type of drills that should have been here a long time ago. Should have been here a very, very long time ago. You had Adam Randall here. And Adam Randall, let me look at that one more time. Yeah. Hits that cut really nicely. Gets that foot in the ground. As soon as he sees the line shifting one way, puts that foot in the ground, gets to the outside. You like to see him bounce it out just a tad bit more, but hey, it's May. Again, it's May. Yeah, man. This drill right here was one of my favorites. Shout out to all of the audio listeners as well. I know you guys can't see it, but listen, sometime come over to YouTube so you can see the video podcast. It's a lot more of an enjoyable experience when you see the whole entire picture. So shout out to all of our audio listeners, but one day pop over to YouTube, won't you? All right. So moving on from that there, let me see more reports on that. So you had your be at your best when your best is needed drill, which they've been doing since the beginning of OTAs here. And basically what this drill is, for those of you guys who don't know, it's something that Jesse Minter's been installing lately at the end of these OTAs, where he has the offense go up against the defense in some sort of like medicine ball type tossing competition, right? And today they did, I believe it's a backwards toss here. Let's go ahead and take a look. So you had Trenton Simpson toss it first. And the thing is, the deal is like whichever team loses, whether it's the offense or the defense loses, they have to do push-ups, right? So Trenton Simpson throws it pretty far here. And then they have Derrick Henry go up against him to throw next. So Derrick Henry has to get it further than what Trenton Simpson got it. And I'm not going to lie. When I first saw this, I didn't know who would win. I thought it might be Henry. Maybe just because of the height. He might have been able to get it. He might have been able to get it like at more of like a trajectory, but like Zay Flowers says here, he said it was too high. And Derrick Henry's falls short of Trenton Simpson. So Trenton Simpson won this competition of the day for the defense. And you can see the offense has to get down and hit those push-ups, man. But again, you talk about team building. Yesterday, we talked about how Mike Florio was questioning the leadership skills of Jesse Minter, basically saying, hey, like when you have to lead these troops into battle, are you going to be able to do it? Right. Or because, these grown men in the NFL, they can spot out a phony from a mile away and all this crap that he was saying. Right. But early on, you can see that Jesse Minter, he's got his pulse on the team. just by doing things like this, and this is bringing the guys together. I think it's only the very beginning. I happen to think that Jesse Minter is going to be a great leader, and at the very least, he can replicate what John Harbaugh brought to the table. And I talked about it yesterday. I mean, John Harbaugh, he gets this reputation of being such a huge, like a great culture setter, and just like this huge personality, to where he's the one who's like really galvanizing the troops, and guys want to just run through three walls for him. And it's like, not really, not really. Especially when you hear how the guys talk about him after his departure. When you hear about how some of the longtime vets talk about him, not that great, not that great. But anyways, moving on from that. Let me see here. So yeah, let me take a look at some more of these highlights here. Let's put this on the screen. So you can see here Lamar Jackson getting active with this new offense, and I want to go through some of the chat here while we take a look at some of these clips here from today. Marine Gamer TV says more like run through three walls to get away from him. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Khalil says F what Florio's talking about. Mentor got these boys inspired. I believe that too, man. I mean, based off of what everything that all the players have been saying, even Lamar mentioned it today. That was the first question they asked him. The first question they asked Lamar Jackson was, "Hey, how are you feeling about Jesse Minter, your new head coach?" You know, um, Energy feeds energy says Bo knows. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. New era big trust. That's what I'm talking about. Sudden psychology is back. Is back. Tila says, I wonder if Doyle's going to be on the field calling plays. He better be. I mean, listen, with how I know they're hammering home the idea of communication with the players here, I think that Declan Doyle would want to be on the field to be able to collaborate in real time with Lamar Jackson. You guys saw yesterday at yesterday's OTAs, I played the video where they're talking face to face. Nothing beats a face to face conversation. Okay, not talking over the phone through a radio, a headset. Nothing beats when you can come over to that sideline as Lamar Jackson after a 3-and-out series, and you can go one-on-one with your OC, Declan Doyle. Nothing beats that. Hell, Brady can be up top. The offensive advisor we got, he can be up top in the booth. He can be the eye in the sky. But Declan Doyle, his 20-something-year-old self, nah, he need to be on the field. He need to be in the field. In the field. That's what I think. That's what I think. And I think Lamar needs that. And what am I going to do about it if he ain't? Oh, I'm going to pull up to the bank myself. I'm going to pull up to the bank myself. I'm going to infiltrate the sideline in some way, shape, or form. I'm going to tap him on the shoulder and be like, or I'm going to tap Jesse Minter on the shoulder. Or, I'm going to just go to the booth. I'm going to find my way up there. I'm going to find my way up to the booth to where the coaches are at. I'm going to show up as like, I'm going to show up as like drink service. I'm going to have like a little tray. I'm going to be dressed up and everything. I'm going to infiltrate. And I'm going to tap Declan Doyle on the shoulder and be like, hey, bro, respectfully, what the hell are you doing up here? Be a man and get on the field. That's what I'm going to say. That's what I'm going to do about it. But yeah, you see a lot of good stuff here. This was that drill that we were talking about earlier with the running backs. Derrick Henry. There was this other, what was the other running back drill that I wanted to show you guys? It was, I believe it was over here. Let's take a look. Oh, yeah. This one, Justice Hill, always looking smooth, man. Justice Hill, so underrated. I mean, I know he was hurt last season, so we didn't really get to see a whole bunch of him. But Justice Hill, he probably is still, if I had to go top 3 most underrated Ravens, Justice Hill's got to be in there. He's got to be in there. Top 3 most underrated Ravens. Absolutely, Justice Hill is in there for me. It'd probably be Justice Hill, probably like Tavius Robinson, and one other underrated. Hell, give me Rashad Bateman. Extremely underrated. Extremely underrated. All right. So let me go ahead and get back to let's get into these interviews, shall we? Let's get into these interviews. And I was going to just play a couple of clips from the interviews, but I figure why not? Why don't we just take a look at the whole thing in its entirety and just kind of react to it little by little here, right? Because there were a lot of things that kind of got swept underneath the radar that we're not really talking about. Like the Ravens media, they didn't report on it, right? And just some things that we want to touch on here. Let's see.
What stood out about him as he's now 8-9 years into his career compared to back then?
I think the constant with Lamar is like he's such a great teammate and he cares a lot about other players' success. He pushes guys out there to have success. He gets really excited when other people make plays. He's not like a selfish guy looking to always make the plays himself. That was evident from the very beginning, I think, of him being here. But then you just look at, a one-of-a-kind quarterback in the National Football League that's won 2 MVPs. He's obviously done things at the most elite, highest level. And so just watching him get better and better over the years and making the plays and continuing to get better that all players search for, to see that and to now have a chance to be on the same side is pretty cool.
Hey, Jesse, you've got Ronnie Stanley obviously missing from practice, and Carson Vincent is a beneficiary of that with a lot of rest. Talk a little bit about him, and in particular, I'm interested in his physical development. Do you think he's met the standard in terms of a year in the league?
Yeah, I think he's doing a really good job. Anytime you get reps, it's just a great opportunity to improve. Yeah. He gets an opportunity to line up across from Trey Hendrickson a lot, which they just work really well together. So it's like
that's really good. That's a good point there. I think that Carson Vincent working up against Trey Hendrickson in practice in May, it's insane if you're Carson Vincent, right? But I think that that's only going to help him be a really, really good reserve at tackle because he didn't play bad when he was asked to play last season. I think he played a little bit on Thanksgiving and maybe in a couple of other games as well, but he did not play bad, right? He didn't play bad. So I think there's definitely something there for the Ravens to potentially be able to develop.
They're non-competitive, but they talk a lot after each play. I was talking to him in the weight room this morning about it. Like they help each other out. They talk about their pass sets, their run blocking, their hand placement. So it's invaluable for him. I think he's done a great job this offseason, getting bigger and stronger. He's put in a lot of work, and very excited about him.
Trey Hendrickson, you mentioned him. He seemed to kind of turn up the heat late in practice and brought that energy. What has stood out about him in these practices?
Just the way he operates. I think we were talking about Derek last week, and Trey's very similar in a sense. He's coming into a new situation, new defense, new terminology. Just to watch his process of how he learns, how he needs to know what he needs to know and also know what everybody else is doing. He's an unbelievable leader in the edge room. He's helping really bring those young guys along as well. And, I think it was a lot of third down at the end of practice. And, that's why he's here to help close out those situations for us on defense.
Yes, sir.
Why is it so difficult?
That is the biggest thing there. Like I mentioned before, closing out these games on defense. That's where Trey Hendrickson is going to make his money for this Ravens team. I need to see at least 13 plus sacks from Trey Hendrickson this year. That's what I need to see. I need to see 10 plus from somebody who is an edge rusher at the bare minimum. But I think that's what Trey Hendrickson is going to provide. Again, closing those games in second halves. That's what I think he's going to give us.
And for the tackles going up against having that challenge against Hendrickson, what makes it so difficult to try to stop him coming off that edge?
He's an extreme, really well defined technical rusher. So he uses his hands really, really well. He can bend really well. He's really good at seeing the snap count and being able to do that. He knows how to attack different tackles based on how they set, things like that.
And see, all of that is super important. Again, a guy who can guess the snap count. Oh, the advantage that gives you as an edge rusher. And you do notice that, like, when you watch Trey Hendrickson's tape, it's almost as if sometimes, like, yes, he's got the size and he's got the bend and everything like that, but, like, he gets off the ball so well. So well. And I think that's going to be, like, again, on third and long, plays where you have to worry about number 14, Kyle Hamilton, and where he's at. Like, you got to think, Trey Hendrickson is not even priority number 1 for a quarterback on third and long when they play the Ravens. Trey Hendrickson is not priority number 1. Priority number 1 is finding out where Kyle Hamilton is going to be in trying to surmise his intentions based on where he's at. You got to guess what Kyle Hamilton's going to do. You can't worry about Trey Hendrickson. All you can do is hope and pray that your left tackle came to play today. That's all you can do. Chat, that's all you can do. That is the one piece. Like, imagine if we had this same defense, right, back in 2023 and even 2024, right? Imagine if we had the same defense, but with a premier edge rusher. It would have tied everything together. Everything. The Ravens defense over the past, since Lamar Jackson has been here, they've had everything that they've needed. All-pro corners, all-pro defensive linemen, like interior D linemen, all-pro safeties. They've had everything on defense, linebackers, except edge rushers. So now that they have that, Bo Knows says in the chat, Trey Green and Hamilton on third and long is a problem. And God's Favorite says, don't forget about BK. And that's for damn sure. More on BK here in a second, but let's continue listening to Jesse Minter.
But man, just how he plays, he brings it every play. I think he's done a great job learning some different techniques that maybe he hasn't done before and playing the run and doing things like that. So just very excited, very, very, very pleased with Trey up to this point, and excited to have him on our side.
Jesse, two weeks in, how do you feel like the rookies have done with kind of catching up to the speed and intensity of practice at the vets?
By the way, shout out to our guy Cordell, friend of the show, asking a very good question here.
Are used to playing that.
Yeah, I think they've all done a good job. You know, everybody's kind of at their own pace there. You know, but especially like we got a big draft class on offense of some of those guys, receivers, tight ends, obviously Vanga, like a lot of guys over there. I think they're doing a really good job. They're all kind of learning a lot on that side of the ball. So they're doing a really good job jumping in and catching up and being available and being able to execute. And then, you know, I think Chandler's doing a great job on defense. Zion's doing a great job. And so really excited about the rookie class. And again, like for these guys right now, it's to put yourself in position to really battle for reps and playing time during training camp. And so I think they're all doing that. They're learning the offense. They're learning the defense. They're learning how we operate, and they're all doing a really good job.
Jesse, we've been out here for 2 practices. We've seen 2 different guys with the starting center reps. Do you view it as 2 now that you'd like to get reps with the first team, or are there other guys?
All right, so here we go with the center talk.
You plan to get reps and give an opportunity to come?
Yeah, there's quite a few, I would say. There's 3 I can think of. And again, like,
so there you have it. There's 3 guys that Jesse Minter can think of that are viable candidates for starting center, right? And he doesn't mention those 3 guys here, but if I had to assume, I would guess it would be Corey Bullock, Javon Gwynn, and Danny Pinter.
Right now, there really isn't. There's certain guys, like, you know, we put up a depth chart right now, like Lamar's our starting quarterback. I think everybody would understand that. But a lot of the positions where you might not have like a super established guy, it is right now it's an organization chart. And it's
so basically all the centers we have are low-key ass, and we don't know who could possibly be, you know, emerging as the best. I'm just being facetious, guys. I'm just kidding. These guys aren't in pads yet. They're not in pads yet, so they won't really get a real true assessment on which center is going to be the leading candidate to start on Sundays until they can see what happens in training camp. So I get it.
Different guys getting work with different groups. Sometimes you want to see how a guy does with certain people next to him, and then other certain people next to him the next practice. And so we just want to give those guys a bunch of different reps with our offense, a bunch of different reps with the different interior linemen that they're playing next to, different quarterbacks that they're handling cadences and things like that. And so I think there's a multitude of positions where we're really trying to rotate a lot of pieces.
Is that depth chart kind of plastered throughout the facility, or is it just one central spot? Or I mean, like, do the people know where they stand at all times by walking around here?
You know, I think elite players know where they stand most of the time, but the elite players like work as if they're not entrenched in the depth chart, and I think that's like the cool part about a Derrick Henry guy like that. Like he's not sitting around going, "Hey, I'm the starting running back." He works as if he's trying to beat people out for his job, and so that's really, I think, right now what guys are doing is just really competing against themselves, competing to learn schemes, how we practice, how we operate, and all doing a great job.
Two more for Jesse.
Jesse, the Ravens have some offensive players with like very unique skill sets. Derrick Henry, Zay Flowers, Lamar. How does working with them on the practice field help you set the defense?
Yeah, I mean, those are some of the best players at their positions in the NFL. And so, you know, especially early on where you may not truly be like scheming up what they're doing, it's unbelievable for guys to get man-to-man reps against Zay Flowers. Like that's maybe the toughest cover in the league in a man-to-man situation. I can think of a bunch of guys over there that present those problems. Derrick Henry, Lamar, all those types of players.
Now that's a good point. I like that point because like we talked about earlier, iron sharpening iron, right? You're going to have guys like Chandler Rivers, like he's mentioning here, going up against Zay Flowers one-on-one in practice, and that is going to be such good experience that you get going against a guy like Zay Flowers, one of the shiftiest wide receivers in the league. That's going to help you going into Sundays because there's not a whole lot of other guys in this league who can lose you quite like Zay Flowers can on a route, right? So love that.
And so for any defense, it's great to get the chance to go against those guys. Man, the more reps that Chandler can get trying to hang with Zay just in man-to-man shadow technique, like he'll be better off in August and September for that. So it's a great thing for both sides of the ball to be able to go against each other.
He talking.
You said at the owners' meetings that there will be a time later the offseason to talk about injury, to give a little more information on the injuries. Do you have a better idea about Nnamdi status and
here we go.
the timeline for Teddy Buchanan?
Yeah, I think Nnamdi is here a lot. He's working. He's doing some certain parts of our program. I'll probably, again, leave that up to him of when it's really to the point where he may be out there, you know. But he's definitely getting a lot of work in. He's training. He's trending in a great direction, I would say. Teddy's, I think.
All right, so really quick on Nnamdi Madubuike, you heard Jesse Minter say just then that he thinks that he's trending in a great direction. He's been working really hard. He's been here a lot, right? And I'll say this about Nnamdi Madubuike. I know we got the update a couple of weeks ago. That was like a big thing. It reached like national, like mainstream sports media that basically said like his doctors are telling him that he's trending in a great direction. Basically what Jesse Minter says here. And I wanna say this to anybody who still thinks that Nnamdi Madubuike most likely maybe won't play. I don't see any reason for not only us to hear, coach talk about him like this, the news leak about his doctors and what they said about his trajectory and the injury and things like that, but most importantly, Nnamdi Madubuike posting so many workout videos and showing how hard he's working to get back and things like that, and then also being at the castle actively. I don't think that all of that would be going down if he was not trending towards playing this upcoming season. So with all that being said, guys, I think that Nnamdi Madubuike, it's safe to say he should be back. Now, will he be back week 1 against the Colts? I don't know. But I think it is safe to say that we are going to see Nnamdi Madubuike back playing for this Ravens team this upcoming season. So this was a great update. Probably one of the better updates that we've gotten about Nnamdi Madubuike so far.
really far ahead of schedule. Everybody kind of knows the timeline of when it happened. But the way that guy operates, the way that guy works, I don't think there is a timeline for him. He's an impressive dude and how he goes about his business, just as most of our guys are.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So that was all from Jesse Minter there. Again, to kind of put a bow on it, he said some really good things about Nnamdi Madubuike. Like we just covered, he said some cool things about how some players on the defense, right, they have to contend with some of the more talented players on the offense, like Chandler Rivers working up against Zay Flowers. That's going to be iron sharpening iron, all that good stuff. Jesse Minter said a lot of good stuff there. So now it's time to get to Lamar Jackson. Before we do that, though, guys, please be sure to leave a like on this video. We have over 120 people watching this episode of Quiet Storm Sports live here on the Purple Rain Podcast YouTube channel. Shout out to each and every one of you guys. Happy Wednesday, aka Hump Day. Please be sure to leave a like on the video. And if you're part of the replay gang, maybe you're watching this on Thursday, maybe you're on your way to work, maybe you're chilling at home, maybe you're at work, on your lunch break, wherever. Shout out to you. Please be sure to comment down below any questions, comments, concerns you got here on this episode. What do you think about what Lamar Jackson is getting ready to say here? Because I know a lot of you guys probably already know, maybe, but we're here to look at it together. Let's take a listen to Lamar Jackson. This is the first time, by the way, he has spoken to the media since the end of last season.
So Lamar, what's kind of your first impression of your new coach, Jesse Minter?
Man, cool dude. Cool coach, man. Always has a smile on his face. I just told him on the field today, I'm like, every time I come in the building, you're always smiling. Like, you don't know what coaches think, he just got a smile on his face, and that's great to have, man. It's great.
I mean, yeah. So here's the thing, Lamar. I'd be smiling too if every day I walked outside and there was a Ferrari in my driveway. Like, quite literally. I mean, like, listen. You know how blessed Jesse Minter is? Most head coaches inherit bad situations. Jesse Minter is inheriting a dream. So, yes, he's definitely going to be smiling when he sees Lamar Jackson walk into his practice and like, oh, that's my QB1. Multiple-time MVP and first-team All-Pro. You couldn't have asked for a better job, quite literally. So, yes, Lamar, that's why he's smiling every time he sees you in practice.
Yeah.
The change. This is the first time we've had the chance to talk to you, where you're dealing with a different coach for the first time.
Yeah. It's different. It's different, new. I feel like everything is new right now. But it's cool. Atmosphere is smooth. Just looking forward to the season now, though. That's all.
Atmosphere is smooth.
Refreshing or re-energizing or anything like that. I know this time of year is, can sometimes not feel that way, but it doesn't feel that way to you?
Oh, yeah, I'll say yes because new coach, new OC, different new guys in positions. So everything is just new, basically, besides upstairs, But coaching staff is just new, and I can say it's a breath of fresh air because everything is just new. That's all.
Yeah, so you heard there, that was kind of like a big clip that was taken out today. It was a breath of fresh air. It's a breath of fresh air. And he says basically just because everything is new. And like, I feel that. Like literally the entire coaching staff. I don't think that this has ever happened in probably Lamar Jackson's just football career in general. Like going from one year to the next, the entire coaching staff was gutted for a brand new one. Doesn't happen all that often. Right. So a lot of people would say like, oh, is he maybe throwing a shot at John Harbaugh here? I don't think so. I think it's just literally a virtue of it being an entirely new system. But if you, and y'all know how I do, I can read deeply into things. I can read real deep into things sometimes. You said it's a breath of fresh air. Not just like the same air, right? Not just the same air, but some fresh. Not just the same old stale air that we've been breathing in the past 8 years, but some fresh air? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're telling me, Lamar? I don't know. Again, I'm not reading too deep into it. Anyway, anywho, get that Harbaugh stank out of here.
That's That's all.
Obviously, I'm sure you have meetings with quarterbacks and the offense, but have you had much time one-on-one with Coach Doyle about the offense and the vision of what it's going to look like this fall?
Actually, I did. I had quite few conversations with Coach Doyle. Great conversations, man. He wants me involved a lot. Coach Jesse. That's why I believe Coach Jesse brought him along, and having fun with it. All of us having fun with the new system and what he sees on the field and from what he sees on film. So it's great. It's great.
All right, so there you heard that he's been having multiple conversations with Declan Doyle. He's having fun in his system. I mean, yeah, bring back Lamar Jackson having fun. Anybody? Like, I feel like we haven't really seen, like last year, we didn't see playful Lamar. We didn't see the normal jubilant Lamar that we see on Sundays or whenever he's playing, like in years past. Bring that back. You know what I'm saying? So love to hear that him and Declan Doyle were already developing a relationship. God's favorite says Fun Lamar was joyous, man. And he was dangerous too. Way more dangerous. Let's keep listening though.
What does that mean to you to have your voice and your fingerprints on that aspect of it? Obviously, we know what you do on the field, but just that aspect of things. What does that mean to you?
What up, Afia?
It means a lot because I feel like I should know what coach is thinking when he's calling certain plays on the field. So it should make my job a lot easier.
Lamar, what's been like working with Declan Doyle so
Y'all missed that one though. Hold on, let me run that one back.
far?
On the field. So it means a lot because I feel like
You know what you do on the field, but just that aspect of things. What does that mean to you?
it means a lot because I feel like I should know what coach is thinking when he's calling certain plays on the field. So it should make my job a lot easier.
I feel like I should know what coach is thinking when he's calling certain plays on the field. Chat, what does this mean? It means your boy Sutton was right. I think Lamar wants Declan Doyle on the field too. Let's listen one more time.
You do on the field, but just that aspect of things. What does that mean to you?
It means a lot because I feel like I should.
What does that mean to you to have your voice and your fingerprints on that aspect of it? Obviously, we know what you do on the field, but just that aspect of things. What does that mean to you?
It means a lot because I feel like I should know what coach is thinking when he's calling certain plays on the field. So it should make my job a lot easier.
Understanding the why, chat. This is what I said. Understanding the why. How do you get somebody, again, like I said this earlier this week, how do you get somebody to do a job and do a job well? You get them to understand why they're doing that job, why this is important, right? And if you can get buy-in from those guys, the sky is the limit. The sky is the limit. If Declan Doyle can get buy-in from this offense, which it seems like he's already getting with the communication that he's had with Lamar Jackson, the open-ended communication that he's had with him, the collaboration, and then the fact that both him and Declan Doyle, they're literally the same age, right? Like they can relate on things. That means something. Psych Sutton here again. That means something when you feel like you can relate to somebody. That means a lot for your relationship. And it's good to see that they're already developing one.
Been like working with Declan Doyle so far, and is it weird or do you notice the fact that you guys are like the same age?
Same age.
Yeah, I already know. But his title is coach, so I'm gonna still call him coach. But it's cool, man.
You
Cause
still got that respect too.
like I just said, him seeing things on film, and when he calling certain plays, I'm knowing what he's thinking within the play call. So it's just making.
He said, "I'm knowing what he's thinking already when he's calling the play." Like in response to, "Hey, how do you feel about your OC being the same age as you?" He says, "Yeah, I know. I'm gonna still call him coach because that's still coach." So the respect is there. That's one. But two, he's like, but also, yeah, like when he's calling certain plays and we're doing things on the field, like I understand the why. Like I already know what he's thinking. You know how dangerous that is?
My job a lot easier, and it's awesome. It's awesome to have.
Lamar last year didn't get the rushing numbers that I guess we're accustomed to seeing from you. Is that something going
tell
forward?
Lamar not happy about that.
Anticipate still being a wanting to be a big part of the run game, or is that something that you would like to have as maybe used as an extra weapon?
Cordell, you pissed him off a little bit with that one.
Oh, that's been my thing every year, whatever it takes to win. So whether I'm running less or running more, it's whatever it takes to win. That's all.
So, all right. I've been wanting to talk about this for some time now. When we talk about Lamar Jackson running the football, last year we saw a historic dip in Lamar Jackson's running contributions to this offense. And some might think that now we're going to move into a phase of Lamar Jackson's career where you see a lot less of him running and you see a lot more of him just throwing the ball. But I want to say here on this platform that I rebuke that. I do. And the reason why I rebuke it is because the thing that makes Lamar Jackson so dangerous and so hard to prepare for is the fact that you have his legs to worry about. So my worry, my fear, my concern is that the Ravens will dial back his rushing opportunities, aka his designed runs. And that will allow defenses to be more laxed in their game planning against Lamar Jackson. Because if you can prepare for Lamar Jackson as if he is a more traditional quarterback, it only plays into the opponent's hands. In no way, shape, or form does it not help, or in no way, shape, or form does it help the Ravens by not utilizing Lamar Jackson's legs. Oh, something, but we don't want him to get hurt. He's in year 9. Lamar is getting ready to say here in a few minutes to you guys, he ain't old. He ain't unk. He can still tote that thing. And like he just mentioned here, he's willing to do whatever it takes to win. If you were in a street race and you were in a car that had a nitrous button, would you not use it? Would you not use it? If you had that equalizing advantage, would you not use it? Would you not go to that? That's my point. And I do remember around the time when Doyle and Minter got hired, they had mentioned something along the lines of, we might want Lamar Jackson to do a little bit less. We want to put the ball in the hands of other playmakers on this team, and we want Lamar Jackson to do less with the football. I think that would be a mistake. I think that a lot of the league looked at Lamar Jackson last year and said, hey, maybe he's getting older. Maybe he's on the decline. So maybe, it's time to dial back the running. No, Lamar Jackson actually addresses that too, but let's keep listening.
Lamar, what did you think about the team investing so heavily in the offense in the draft? And what have been your first impressions of working with Venga and Jacoby and Elijah specifically? And the tight end as well?
Well, this is my first week really working with those guys, so it's pretty smooth. I felt like we did a great job, with bringing new guys in, new additions to what we need. So it's smooth so far.
Lamar, with before this time, you had been with John Harbaugh your career. What was kind of your initial reaction when you found out that he was fired?
Oh man, I got a lot of respect for Coach. So me just seeing that, man, I was shocked, in a way.
Okay.
In a sense, but I feel like Mr. Steve, he did what was best for the team, and you know, I hope coaches have a great time in New York, man. Hats off to coach, because we did so much for the city, for the team, for this organization. Hats off to him in New York, and we built a lot. We did a lot here.
Did you get a chance to talk to him at all?
Hats off to him in I hope, you know.
You know, I want to believe Lamar here, but something about the body language is telling me, like, and is giving me good riddance. You know, it's like, yeah, I mean, he was coach, got a lot of respect for him because, I mean, we were together for 8 years here in Baltimore, but ultimately Steve did what was best for the team, you know, and we got to move on.
To our shot, you know, in a way, in a sense.
He's doing this tongue thing where he's like licking his lips like every 2 seconds. I don't know if his lips are just chapped or whatever, but a little bit of nervousness in this one. He kind of had this throughout this interview with a couple of other questions too.
But I feel like, you know, Mr. Steve, he did what was best for the team. And, you know, I hope coaches have a great time in New York, man. Hats off to coach, because we did so much for the city, for the team, for this organization. Hats off to him in New York, and we built a lot. We did a lot here.
Did you get a chance to talk to him at all since his departure?
I messaged him. When I found out he was at the Giants. You know, when he got the job at the Giants, I messaged him.
I messaged him. Did he message you back though?
Without Tyler Linderbaum here, considering the importance of the relationship between center and quarterback, I guess, what type of role are you going to have as they work through finding the starting center, and what have you thought so far?
You said my role?
Yeah, like, are you going to have like feedback when it comes to who's at center?
Role.
Oh, my role. Oh, okay. Well, you know, I feel like those guys upstairs do a great job at bringing in people who we need, like I said before. And whatever it takes, man, hopefully we just got to get a guy who's willing to be center, willing to lead the offensive line, and do his job.
Lamar, Eric Acosta has, you know, said it's a goal of his to sign you to a contract extension. It seemed like
here we go with the
there was a window
contract
in
talk
March before free agency that you guys could have done it. What's the biggest barrier in your mind to getting a contract extension done?
I was thinking about how I was going to respond to this question if I got it. But, you know, I'm going to give you the same answer I always give. No, I just want to keep those conversations private. You know, we restructured the deal, and that's what we have right now. So,
is there a chance that you could play out this season and just bet on yourself and not sign a contract?
We got the reconstruction done, like I said, Jerry. We just gonna go.
I think he means yes. Like, yeah, we restructured. I know they're not gonna want to pay me $84 million next year, right? So I know they're not gonna want that cap hit. So we're just gonna see. Yeah, I'm gonna bet on myself. I'm having fun in this new offense. Yeah, I'm gonna bet on myself.
From there.
Do you feel though? I mean, because it's now 20-some months until you could possibly be a free agent.
Jameson, you're trying to ask the question differently than Jerry just asked me.
I am, yes.
Yeah, that's smooth, but I'm going to give you the same answer.
No, I have a little different question.
All right, go ahead.
Do you still envision yourself long-term here with the Ravens?
Absolutely. I love the Ravens. I love this organization. I love the city. This the team that drafted me, you know, got a lot of love for me. And I believe, you know, I got a lot of love for the city and this team as well. So, like I told you, the reconstruction is done. Cool with that. But
let him know, Lamar.
Everybody should know that by now.
Let him know.
Lamar, with coaching changes aside, when you know, last season was difficult for you with some of the injuries. The team didn't do as well as you wanted. When you have a season like that, how do you approach the off season? Do you change up your workouts? Do you do something different? How do you approach an off season when you're coming off of a frustrating season for you and for the team?
Oh man, just heal up. You know, heal up, because it starts there. You know, like you said, I was banged up a lot last year. Heal up and just lock in. You know, go back to work. I don't look at it as if I did.
All right, so now we're about to get into where he talks about how he was banged up last year. This is very interesting stuff, so make sure you pay attention.
Something wrong with my off-season program last year. You know, I've been doing the same thing each and every year, and I felt like I've gotten better in some aspects, certain things, so I'm going to keep doing the same thing.
Lamar, Steve Bisciotti and Eric mentioned that you were a bit involved with the coaching search. Just what that mean as a leader to provide your input, and what you enjoy learning about Jesse during that process?
Man, it was a great experience for me, knowing about all the conversations you have to have with.
Well, first he's talking about the hiring process for Jesse Minter and how he was involved with that.
The coach and interview guys and it was extremely cool for me. And shout out to Eric and shout out to Mr. Steve for that. But Coach Jesse, like I said, he always has a smile on his face. He had the same thing during the interview, and it was just cool, down to earth. It was just cool to experience.
What's your reaction to the Ravens going to Brazil for a game?
I'm lit. We lit. I'm ready. Hello, Brazil. I love Brazil.
Oh, he gonna show out in that game. Hey, hey, listen, man. Cowboys. I don't know if there's any Cowboys fans listening right now. Probably not, but who knows? Maybe. Y'all in trouble. Y'all are in big trouble. I'm telling you that right now.
The Ravens have brought in to be your next receivers. How has it been kind of getting on the field with them?
Guys are looking smooth, running great routes, catching the ball great. But you know, it always look good, OTAs. You know, you can't really tell what's going on until the season actually comes and we actually in a real game. I can never grade a guy from workouts all season or during camp, stuff like that. I'll wait till the season's going.
What would you retire?
That's fair. That's fair. Not willing to come out, you know, too early and be like, oh, Jacoby Lane is my guy. Or, you know, oh, that Surratt dude, he's looking good. Or, you know, y'all know Zay is still my boy. You know, he's just saying, you know, we're going to wait. We're going to see. I know he just asked about the rookie, so I don't know why I brought up Zay, but he's like, we're going to wait and we're going to see. I like that.
High school. What did that mean to you? What was that day like? Can you take us through that a little bit?
So Lamar Jackson got his jersey retired at his high school.
It was cool. Shout out to my guy, Traquan Smith. That's the head coach for my former high school. He was my former teammate there. And we was actually playing against one of our other former teammates, Dooley Aristotle. He's at Olympic Heights. But it was a great experience for me, just getting my jersey retired. I don't know, man. I wasn't looking forward to that because I felt like, you know, I've been out of high school forever now, and I wasn't thinking that was going to happen. But for him to do that in the city to show so much love and the team, it was just a great experience for me, man. I loved everything about it.
Lamar, why was it important that you take part in voluntary workouts when maybe, you know, I'm not saying it wasn't important in the past.
Real quick, not too many people get their jersey retired from high school. So that's dope. That's how you know Lamar Jackson has been the truth for a very long time.
But you've been, by all accounts, much more active and present here than in the past.
New system. You know, I had to get the terminology down, knowing what guys are, just watching film and getting out on the field with my guys and knowing what guys going to be with certain routes, certain plays, hearing coach call plays. Everything is new, so I had to be here.
And see, boom, there it is. For all of you people in the national media who have been saying for the past, honestly, some years now, because this is spanning back to multiple other off seasons in the past. Oh, Lamar Jackson doesn't realize the importance of showing up and for off-season activities and things like that. He's literally telling you right here, verbatim. Let's take another listen. One more.
Guys are just new system.
New system.
I had to get the terminology down.
Yes.
Knowing what guys are, just watching film and getting out on the field with my guys and knowing what guys going to be with certain routes, certain plays, hearing coach call plays. Everything is new, so I had to be.
Yeah, I had to be here. It's May. We don't play a damn game for 3 more months. Maybe 4 more months. Right? But I still want to be here to get on the same page with these new guys. National media won't highlight that though. You will not see this snippet from this interview on any Sports Center, no ESPN, no Fox Sports 1, no NBC. You're not going to hear that nowhere. But I can guarantee you, if he said the exact opposite and said, you know, I just kind of showed up today just because I was bored, you know, I'm probably going to miss the next couple of weeks and I'll see y'all when training camp starts. I just don't really see the point in this. It would have went super crazy, stupid viral. But the fact that he's telling you that, yeah, this is why I'm here. Like, I'm here and this is why. Doesn't feed the agenda. It just doesn't feed the agenda. Simple as that.
Yeah. What are your opinions of the new system so far, Lamar?
I don't want to give it away, Ryan. It's smooth. I love it. Just know I love it. And everyone else loves it.
How do you go about, you know, new year, new players? How do you go about building team chemistry with the new players, as that things come in?
Man, just being yourself. You know, God, I believe our team, we don't want fake guys around, you know, just trying to be someone you're not. I'm always be myself, and I feel like guys gravitate towards that a lot. and just speaking up for guys and doing what's best for them.
Now, that's one thing I will say. When, Lamar Jackson, he's never been the leader who's going to lead by – he's not going to verbally lead the team. It's just not him. It's just not what he does. Is that my favorite thing about Lamar Jackson? No. Do I wish that he was a little bit more of like a natural like a vocal leader? Yes. Because I think about some of the most successful quarterbacks in the history of the NFL. I mean, most recently, you can look at like a Patrick Mahomes. He's a maniac to his guys, very vocal as a leader. Tom Brady is the one who comes to mind the most, right? Made sure his guys were locked in. Like he said things, he communicated, verbally to his guys on the sidelines, on the field, things like that. Not to say that Lamar Jackson's never done that. And I think that honestly, Lamar Jackson should give himself a little bit more credit than he does, because we've seen him before, fire guys up and really like be on the sideline and with fiery passion and things like that, walking up and down and talking to people. And we've seen that before. But I think it's something that maybe we need to see more often. We need to see more consistently. Maybe we need to see it like, I don't only want to see it when Lamar Jackson is already on 10, right? If you guys catch my drift. I want to see it when Lamar Jackson is at any level of emotion. Coming into the game, before the game, during the game, hell, after the game. You know what I mean? Like, I want to see it all the time. But he does lead by example. Just by like literally doing amazing things on the field, he inspires the rest of his teammates. Imagine being that good at football, or at anything for that matter, to where like you don't even have to say anything to anybody to get them to perform. Like, you have teammates. You don't have to say anything to get them to perform at a high level. You just show them what high level performance looks like, and they follow suit. That's his style of leadership. It is. It is. Like I said, I wish he was a little bit more vocal consistently, but I still do love his style of leadership. I do.
Year 9, just kind of how do you feel physically? I mean, Derek joked last week, sometimes getting up, touching his toes in the morning. Just kind of how do you feel physically at the
Derek made it seem like we just old or something, but it's still normal for me. But just hearing you say year 9, that's crazy. That is crazy. One of the players just asked me, like, this year 9 for you? I think it was a rookie. I'm like, yeah, but I'm not an unk yet, dude. I'm 20.
You heard it there. He's 29. He's not unk yet. He's not unk yet. So don't count him out. Don't count him out when it comes to running that football. I still think that should be squarely on his plate. So we'll see how they do it. But you heard it there. He says he's feeling good. He's feeling normal. It still feels normal for him. He doesn't feel like he's slowing down or anything like that. And, he's not unk. He's not unk. So that's good to hear.
I just turned 29 in January, but, man, it's still the same process for me, man, just getting up and doing something I love. I'm cool.
What years are unk? I mean, in NFL terms, I think that unk years would definitely be like once you hit 35, I'd say. I say about 35. Maybe even like 33. Somewhere between like 33, 35. That's when you officially considered an unk in this league, right? But yeah, that's what I would say, Coach. 29 is definitely not unk status. Definitely not unk status. By the way, over 200 people watching live on this episode of Quiet Storm Sports. Clap it up. For everybody viewing right now across all platforms, we appreciate you guys. Make sure you leave a like, leave a thumbs up on the video, guys. Helps us out a ton here at PRP to continue to put out content for you guys every single day. We'd appreciate that. And subscribe if you are new. And also hit that notification bell. Hit that notification bell so you are notified anytime that we go live here. I went live like 3 different times yesterday. Hit that notification bell if you want to stay up to date. All right, we'd appreciate it. All right, let's go ahead and get into the rest of this interview here. That's not it. That's not it, Maul. We got more.
Like, I don't have to been able to touch my toes, stuff like that. I don't have to do that. I'm locked in. I'm ready.
Status. Lamar, I'm sorry, but one more contract-related question. There's an NFL
More contract
collusion
questions.
grievance that
Oh, this was
leaked
interesting.
last year.
Yeah.
In it, some of your texts to Eric were released. You asked for a fully guaranteed contract back in the last contract you negotiated. Is that something you'd still want for this upcoming contract, potentially fully guaranteed money?
What year was that? 2023, 2022?
Now, first of all, how, and this is my question for the interviewer here, the person who asked the question. I'm not exactly sure who this was, but how does it at all benefit Lamar Jackson to truthfully answer this question? Like, I mean, seriously. Not only are you asking him, like, does he want to get a long-term extension done with the Ravens? You're asking him, hey, bro, you remember back in 2023 when there was like a big scandal and there's like a lawsuit out about it when they talked about collusion and, you know, they were saying that you wanted a guaranteed deal. Is that something that you want this time around too? I know you're negotiating and whatnot, and you probably don't want to say these things to the media in public, right? But yeah, answer the question. It's like, what are you even asking? What are you even asking? Take that guy's press pass. I don't know who that was. I don't know who it was. Maybe I'm stepping on some toes and it's somebody that I know, but I don't care. That's a terrible question. And Lamar Jackson answers it. He kind of sets him up like he's gonna answer. He's like, what year was that again? Did that happen? Oh, 2023? All right, yeah. Non-answer. Basically.
22 or 2023?
That conversation is in 2022. This is 2026. We're gonna leave that conversation in 2022. But yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna leave it in 2022. But nothing. He wraps it up here.
We're gonna leave it in 2022.
Exactly.
How, I guess, like, relative to what you wanted to be, how close were you to full health last year, like before you even got hurt? Like, people pointed to that hit that you took at the end of the Buffalo game.
It wasn't that hit from Buffalo.
Interesting. So a lot of people were thinking the reason why Lamar Jackson was so banged, like he looked so hurt last year and he just did not look quite the same, was because of that hit that he took from Ed Oliver against the Bills in week 1 down the stretch of that game. He got absolutely leveled, kind of blindsided, right? It was a decleater in the pocket, by the way. And Lamar Jackson says here, like, no, reason why I was banged up last year was not because of that hit against the Bills.
Did you feel like before you actually got sidelined against the Chiefs, you were running as well as you wanted to?
I believe Detroit game, because if you guys watched the game, I got caught by a lineman. I couldn't really burst Detroit game, you know, but I didn't know what it was. I just thought it was just something just nagging until we played the Chiefs and I tried to do a move. I just felt my hamstring just like, I can't even describe it to you this year.
That's interesting, chat. That's very interesting. So Lamar Jackson says here that the reason why he was banged up and was not able to plant off that foot and run like we know Lamar Jackson to be able to do was because of an O lineman tackling him in the Detroit Lions game in week 3. You heard it there. Lamar revealed it. He said, I got caught by an O lineman, you know, probably rolled up on his hamstring. I'll have to go back and find the play. I got to go back and find that play. But rolled up on his hamstring. And he said from there, he couldn't really plant. He couldn't really explode off of that hamstring. And then he said the next week in the Chiefs game, he tried to explode off of it and it just didn't feel right. So I can only imagine if you're Lamar, that's exact. It makes so much sense now. It makes so much sense. Like, oh my gosh, like, wow. It's crazy how much sense it makes now. Because I was literally at times watching the Ravens and Lamar Jackson play last year. I was just kind of like furious when I would see Lamar get into a situation where historically, yeah, he's just going to step on the gas and run and get up out of there. And good luck for especially an offensive lineman or a linebacker, whoever, good luck at catching him. I saw multiple instances like that where instead of being elusive like we normally know him to be, he got caught easily. He just did not look nearly as fast. There was next to no burst. Like he went from looking like Lamar Jackson running the football to like a Patrick Mahomes running the football. which Patrick Mahomes is a pretty damn decent runner of the football when he decides to do it, but it's a massive downgrade from what Lamar Jackson is. But that's how Lamar looked last year. And it was a lot easier to game plan for him, especially since the Ravens knew he was injured. It was a lot easier to game plan for him because you knew the design runs weren't going to be in there as much. And he's talking about his hamstring here. Because remember, it wasn't just his hamstring. What was it? It was his toe, and it was an ankle, and then I think it was a knee or a quad or something like that. It was a bunch of stuff in his legs. So that explains exactly why he did not look like normal Lamar Jackson.
Like, it's crazy. But when it happened, you know. But I felt like Detroit, it was the start of it, Detroit.
And you felt like, did you feel like you had fully moved past it by the end of the year, or were you still dealing with it then?
I probably was still dealing with it.
He was still dealing with a hit in an injury he sustained in week 3. He was still dealing with in week 18. We got a banged up Lamar Jackson for 90+% of the season. But national media will just tell you it was just a down year for Lamar. It was just a down year. He didn't look good. Maybe he's not the same anymore. Maybe we were right all along. Maybe his style of play won't last. That's what national media is saying about Lamar Jackson currently. And again, there's certain clips and things that will never see the light of day in national sports media. Again, like that, one of the clips we looked at earlier. But this is why platforms like this exists, because so you can know, so you can know the truth.
A little bit, but it's football. You know you're going to be banged up week 17, stuff like that. That's going to happen. You know, you just got to move through things like that and keep playing football. And I felt like I was doing a great job at that. We had a chance to win the game, just didn't go our way.
Lamar, what do you say to people that, you know, with your style of play, there are people that have always wondered how long of a shelf life you have, especially at the top, and last year kind of gave that crowd a little bit of that ammo. What do you think about the people that felt like maybe that is a sign of where you're going?
I mean, that's one once in a lifetime thing that happened last year, you know.
Talk to him, Mar.
People need to enjoy great things when it's happening. Don't try to prepare for when things don't go his way, you know. That's what I feel. Just enjoy it. Just enjoy it.
Two more for Lamar, please.
Lamar, the patches on your jersey. Can you break down a little bit of the patches you got going on the jersey?
Well, I feel like this is us winning the AFC North right here. MVPs speak for itself, and Pro Bowl. I think that's it. Pro Bowl. I don't know what the strong going mean. I don't know what that mean, but I believe I got them all right. Besides that,
What do you think?
Looks good too.
Kind of new end of
Well deserved.
I love it. I love it. I feel like we making a tight-knit group with our team, you know, just joining in together with our guys and competing, but a fun competition. And we need things like that to happen.
Yeah.
What do you think the new ones, and which ones are your favorite?
I talked about which jersey he likes the most.
I don't have a favorite yet because we haven't worn in the game, but I like them all so far. Nope, I lied. Black might be my favorite. But then purple. I like the metallic type purple on the jersey. I don't know. You have to find out later on.
Yeah, no, I think he's gonna go crazy in that. The darkness falls. I think he's gonna go crazy in those.
Lamar, what did it mean to you that one of the first things they did when they were hired, Jesse and Declan, was come down and see you and start building that relationship and that communication with you?
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. I felt like that was a great thing to do because I was intrigued with those guys, you know, doing the interview, just trying to pick their brain. And I felt like they was doing the same thing with me, you know. And for Coach Jess to be the head coach and Coach Deck to be the offensive coordinator, both new at their positions, really. They want to win, you know, and I want to win as well. So I felt like it was great for those guys to come down and meet with me.
That surprised you?
No, I wouldn't say that because Giro, I actually met with Giro back in 2019 when he was.
He who shall not be named.
When he became my OC, you know, Marty Morningwig ended up, you know, departing. So it was cool. I wasn't surprised by it at all.
What's the coolest thing you did?
Last one, Jerry.
What's the coolest?
Cheers.
This is going to be an easy one. So, Ray, what's the
up?
coolest thing you did this offseason? I mean, you've talked about a lot of different things. Was there anything that surprised you?
Get my jersey retired.
And there it is, folks. There it is, folks. That is a wrap on that. He says getting his jersey retired is probably the coolest thing he's done this off season. So there you have it, folks. There you have it, folks. Lamar Jackson and Jesse Minter speaking to the media today. A lot of good stuff to take from that. Again, I think that the biggest things are the fact that Jesse Minter talked about Nnamdi Madubuike. Of course, you had Lamar Jackson talking about why he was banged up last year, and a bunch of other little like more interesting nuggets in there too. So we got a lot from it today, and then also the OTA videos. I mean, it's good to just see those guys back at practice. Like I led the show with, I don't know about my guy Rashad Bateman. Apparently, he's got a newborn baby, so that's why he's not at OTAs right now. I hope eventually he gets back there and kind of gives that signal that he's actually going to be on the team. Otherwise, I got a lot of people to apologize to in my bait hate book. But yeah. Listen, guys, appreciate you guys so much for coming through to this episode. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this episode of the show. Please be sure to like this video. Subscribe to the channel as well. We got Steve Loop in the chat. What's up, Mr. Loop? Appreciate you for coming through. Please be sure to like the video, subscribe as well. Consider joining our membership because we will be giving away some Ravens gear tomorrow on episode 410 of the Purple Rain podcast. Judy, appreciate the sub. Appreciate the sub, Judy. As we're about to go ahead and wrap up here. Again, be like Judy. Sub to the channel. Like the video. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Listen, stay positive, test negative. Never, ever, ever forget to call God. And may purple rain.